I just got wind of this and I did my research. And, to be honest with you, I was very annoyed, upset, and just basically pissed off in regards to what happened with Travis Rudolph. Travis Rudolph should have never been put on trial. But it just goes to show you, when it comes to being a black man, you are not allowed to defend yourself against anybody, whether it's a woman or other men, and even sometimes men that look like you, because they just want to find a way, no matter what, to try to lock you up and put you on paperwork. I hope Travis Rudolph sues the city, the state. He should file a lawsuit against the woman who basically literally put all this in motion. But yet the woman is not being held accountable. And then just listening to her talk, hearing how she has no remorse, isn't sorry whatsoever. Even when she was testifying, she was being condescending and disrespectful. But at the end of the day, they never want to hold women accountable. But they love to holler about be a man and all this kind of stuff. And here's a case where a man defended himself. He defended his family, but yet it was a clear case of self-defense. But you had a judge that was just hell-bent on trying to lock this person up. And of course, you have to put in the fact that it is some kind of, you can make an argument. I don't know whether where it was a female judge that disregarded the stand your ground and self-defense, stance that he took. Because first of all, they came to his house, knocked on the door after 12 midnight. And then when everything transpired, they was talking about they was there just to talk. And then the woman that put this all in motion, she gets to walk scot-free. And basically she caused somebody to lose their life due to the fact she couldn't control herself, and due to the fact that she was unstable and emotional, and that she basically started everything, and she basically told a flat out lie. And then basically said, oh, well, I didn't, mean what I meant. And basically they got text messages of her basically calling a hit, saying shoot his stuff up. But in case you guys don't know, let me rewind this and start from the beginning. Travis Rudolph was a guy who basically was trying to get into the Canadian Football League. He had a brief stint in the NFL. Unfortunately, he had a Achilles heel injury, and that pretty much sidelined him and railroaded his NFL career. And basically he was on the path of basically trying to get into the Canadian Football League, and it looked like things were going good for him. But unfortunately, he chose to align himself with the wrong type of woman who was dishonest with him from the start, who basically had a husband and did not tell him that. And basically the man told her from the gate that, they was sort of like friends with benefit thing, and basically they just occasionally hook up. He explained that to her, but she demanded that she become the girlfriend. And then basically what started the whole situation was, I guess she went through his phone and she found another woman's phone number in there. And basically, to make a long story short, she started to tear up stuff at his house, damaged his PlayStation. She attacked him. She hit him with a bottle, had a violent outburst. But us men, we're not allowed to defend ourselves. Oh, there's never an excuse to hit a woman. Get out of here. And I'm tired of you simps, and I'm tired of you feminists always trying to give yourself a self-issue pass. And like I said, a lot of you simps are the problem too. Listen, I don't believe that you randomly strike somebody, but at the same time, if somebody is attacking you, it doesn't matter what gender they are. You have a right to defend yourself. And I'm tired of people saying you're not supposed to do this and you're not supposed to do that. At the same time, if a person is aggressive towards you, you should be allowed to defend yourself no matter what the gender is or what they identify as, because that's just real talk. So you supposed to sit up there and let somebody hurt you. All this stuff about men is physically, hey, listen, hey, it don't matter if it's a woman or a man. If somebody hits you with a closed fist, somebody hits you with a bottle, somebody hits you with a trophy, they can do harm to you. And to sit up there and say that you supposed to not do nothing is just absurd. Where do they be getting this stuff from? That's what's the problem is, people coming up with these ridiculous cliches. And so you know, for real, coming up with these so-called ethics of morals and standards that you supposed to have. Well, if this person isn't abiding by it, why should you? But basically, she just tore stuff up. They didn't, you know, they was basically, you know, saying that they didn't want to call the police because they didn't want to get her in trouble. And I understand this thing with black men not wanting to get the authorities involved because they don't want to see a black person go to jail. But yet, due to the fact that he didn't call law enforcement, now keep in mind, Travis Rudolph is not a street dude. So at the end of the day, by no stretch of the imagination is it snitching. And see, there's a difference between snitching and being a law-abiding citizen. At the end of the day, if you got an aggressive person, like basically trying to do you bodily harm, you either have the right to defend yourself or you should bring law enforcement in. You know, but like I said, it got to the point to where, you know, basically the brother got involved. And she ended up hitting the brother. And then basically she called some goofy niggas to come over there. Now keep in mind, they didn't see him at a mall. They didn't see him at a mall. They didn't see him at a store. She basically called them and said, oh, he hit me, which was a damn lie because they had everything. They had everything on video. They had basically a door cam that caught everything. So she basically called some dudes talking about shoot his stuff up. So she called her brother, and he called some goofy niggas, and they came over there. They had weapons. They basically came to his house. Now I want you to hear this. This is in Florida. They came to his house, knocked on the door. I want you to hear this. Once again, they came to his house, knocking on the door, talking about where is he? And they had weapons, so they came over there to try to do something. Now, of course, they tried to do the stuff, oh, we just want to talk. Well, why don't you just call him? I'm pretty sure she would have gave you the number. She called for it. She called for them to come over there and delete dude. And keep in mind, the incident is on video. And you can see what happened. He warned them. He warned them after he saw that one of them had a weapon. One of them, if I'm not mistaken, sucker punched his brother when they came out there telling him to leave. And the mama came out there saying that, hey, she's lying. She tore up my house. So, of course, them niggas, once again, who came to the house, technically they were uninvited guests, which means they are intruders. They are trespassing. Once you tell them to leave your property, they are officially trespassing. So after all that commotion happened, basically, and here's something else that they left out. Now, I notice ESPN ain't talked about this story because, once again, this was the black man getting off who was innocent, because they all about demonizing black men while they sitting up here talking about this stuff about John Moran and all this kind of stuff. Now, this dude, Travis Rudolph, went and got his proper permits, to basically carry a firearm. But he basically went back and he went and got a high-powered capacity rifle. And basically, to make a long story short, it appears that one of them was reaching like they was finna do something. Now, I'll say this once again. They came to his house. This wasn't, they didn't see him on the streets. They didn't see him they came to his house. And basically, to make a long story short, he ended up letting off some shots. And he hit, I think, two of them. And one of them ended up, being deleted. Now, keep in mind, they have the text messages. They have just mountains of proof that this woman initiated the whole situation. But yet, they arrested him. And he said, hey, I was just standing my ground, which if that was any case of standing your ground, it would have been this one. But no, you just had a judge. Either, I don't know what the judge looked like. Either the judge was a coon, or the judge was some feminist, or just some flat out racist that just decided that, hey, we want to put him on trial. So basically, Travis Rudolph went through 2 years of hell with his freedom on the line, when once again, this was clearly a case of self-defense. I'm talking about this should have been an open and shut case, and they found a way to put this man on trial and was trying to take him basically away from his family. Make that make sense. Somebody come to your house with guns, trying to do something to you, and you defend your property, you defend your home, you defend your family, you defend yourself, and you the one that end up almost going to jail. And then you have the audacity to try to tell people like me that race doesn't play a role in how we're perceived. Like I said before, one thing America fears is a black man with a gun. I'm telling you right now, had this been a white man, this wouldn't even have been up for discussion. This would have been, hey, it's self-defense. He would have went home that day. But no, they felt that they needed to put this man on trial. Do you know how stressful that is? Like I said, Travis Rudolph should be suing everybody. I would even sue that bitch, because she, like I said, she put all this in motion. So I asked the question, like I said, why isn't ESPN talking about this? Why isn't a lot of these media outlets talking about this story? Oh, okay. I get it, because it doesn't fit their narrative where this time the black man was the victim. But they don't have no problem running John Morant's name through the mud. Y'all had no problem. And we sitting up here talking about weapons and owning weapons. And like I said before, once again, this dude was exercising his Second Amendment rights. He was basically exercising within the rights of Florida laws. But it's funny, you had George Zimmerman, who's still walking around, who basically initiated and approached Trayvon Martin, who started everything, and he ended up taking Trayvon Martin's life. But then, once again, Trayvon Martin, it seemed to me, Trayvon Martin was the one that got put on trial, because you seen the media just run his name all through the mud, making it look like he was just some out of line, blunt smoking punk. This dude was on his way to college. And none of this would have happened if George Zimmerman, after he was told, even when he called law enforcement said, hey, do not approach this dude. George Zimmerman was not a cop. He didn't have the right to approach Trayvon Martin, and Trayvon Martin didn't have to answer any questions on his whereabouts and his current activities and what he was doing. Because George Zimmerman wasn't a cop. He wasn't security. He was a self-appointed so-called neighborhood watch dude. And then George Zimmerman, they made it look like George Zimmerman was this innocent dude who was victimized by Trayvon Martin. Like I said, that, just thinking about that just makes my blood boil, because thinking about how Trayvon Martin was made fun of, you had people making memes, dressing up as him, sorry ass white people, and some sellouts, the usual suspects. But nothing was did. Nothing was did to George Zimmerman. George Zimmerman got off scot-free. They had to apply pressure for them to arrest George Zimmerman. And then the court case was one of the most bogus court cases I ever seen. I'm talking about it was just set up for him to get off from the gate. It wasn't nothing but a shit show. Like I said before, you had people like, I mean, you just should have seen the stuff that was said about Trayvon Martin, a 17-year-old kid. Some of the stuff that was said on social media was just blatantly disgusting. Oh, he should have just complied. He don't have to comply. He didn't know George Zimmerman from Gate. He didn't know him. He didn't know him from crap. He didn't know him off the rip. He didn't have to answer nothing. And he was unarmed. So like I said before, Florida, no wonder they were sitting up saying a few months ago that black people need to be safe roaming around Florida. I guess so. Because I guess this could happen to you. Like I said before, the black man ain't allowed to defend himself. He just supposed to sit up there and just take it. He just should just sit up there and allow himself to just be a victim and a statistic, and basically just a panel of, oh, black man can't behave himself, or, oh, see what happens. This is why you shouldn't get, and he refused to be a case study and a panel. So basically, shout out to Travis Rudolph for defending himself. But like I said, this woman, I mean, she is just trash. It's just trash. Just hearing her, not accept no accountability, not one bit sorry. And the funny thing was, she tried to make it look like she was a victim. Well, I was just under a lot of stress and I acted off emotion. And then sitting up there when they said, you did not text saying shoot his, up. Well, it didn't. Like I said, just very standoff and combative. Like I said, her ass should be on trial. Her ass should be in jail. But she gonna walk away scot-free. I know her first name is, I think her name is Dominique Jones or something. Just trash. And any woman that come on my channel trying to defend her, I highly recommend you don't do it. You can't defend that kind of stuff. Somebody lost their life because of her lies, and her not being able to control herself, having a violent outburst. And they said that she had did this to him several times, that when things didn't go her way, she would put her hand. And like I said, it don't matter how little she is. It don't matter whether she's short, whether she's 5'8" or you know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter whether she's 5'2", whatever the case may be. She could be 5'2", 6'2". At the end of the day, she can still take somebody's life. Whether it's with something in her hand or whether her having some kind of firearm. She still could take somebody's life. So to sit up there and try to play that role, size to get out of here. For real. That's why I was sitting up there tripping off the fact that everybody was making it look like Will Smith when he slapped Chris Rock, like Chris Rock is like 4'2" or something, like he 5 feet, like he the size of Gary Coleman or something. But like I said, anything can happen. Size don't matter. To be honest with you, that dude, that dude Mo3, who had some kind of ties to whatever happened with Errol Spence. That dude Mo3 was like 5'3", but word on the streets is he was connected to at least 15. 15. They saying he was connected to at least 15 you know what's, that he caught 15 of them. So, you know, to a certain degree, that don't mean nothing. So you can just stop that stuff right there. That's just real talk. But yeah, Travis Rudolph, he needs to sue everybody. I'm filing $100 million lawsuit against that city. I'm suing the judge. I'm suing that lady. And like I said, she should be put in jail. And it's not too late to bring her up on charges. She should be brought up on on assault charges. She should be brought up on destruction of property. And she should be brought up on basically conspiracy to commit, a homicide. But like I said, she gonna walk away scot-free, going about her life. But she didn't pretty much ruin Travis Rudolph's life. No NFL team is gonna touch him. His football days is probably over. Even due to the fact it was self-defense, he caught one. Because like I said, there's always this fear of a black man with a gun. So there you have it. But I just wanted to put that out there. I'll do more videos later on. This your boy Town. I'm out.